Hello and welcome to OWLFI's short form rants.
Yes.
Should we just call them the OWLFI rants?
I think that's good. Anything OWLFI, and then we just put a word after
Just
it.
put a word after it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is a 20-minute. We're going to try to keep it 20 minutes, right? It's 11:42. We're going to be done by noon, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, I think
and,
it's good.
and it's just us shitting all over Disney.
Yeah.
And Zegler. Is that her name? Zegler?
Yeah, Rachel Zegler.
Rachel Zegler, right? Little crybaby actress, butthurt because she made some trash, and nobody's going to watch it.
Yeah. And I can speak firsthand. I actually did see it.
Oh.
So
wait a minute. What is a gay, pansexual person of color?
all the above.
Wait a minute.
I'm
No,
an
you don't
ally.
fit any of those, right?
I'm an ally.
You're a 6 foot something white male heterosexual, and you went to see.
I'm an ally. So, yeah, I saw it last Thursday. So it was premiere night. So the very first showing.
What the? Wow.
So
Were
like-
you lined up camping on the street beforehand with the other 4 people?
Yeah, not so much that going around. I knew the expectations going into the movie
Yeah.
and all the controversy, but I definitely still thought.
I mean, I'm stunned that the critics shit all over this because they
Yeah.
eat this kind of
Yeah.
trash up.
And, I was stunned by how few people were in the theater because, despite the controversy, it's still Disney, and like I've lived in California near Disneyland, so I know there's like that Disney fan base, which is like absurdly loyal. So I still expected premiere night for a Disney movie,
And one of the original Disney movies.
Oh yeah, it's from the
Snow
30s.
White.
Yeah,
1937.
Yep.
Right.
And that theater was,
Which is why the original film, right? Didn't some guy come along, just beat her, put her in the kitchen, make her cook, barefoot, pregnant, had his way with her whenever he wanted, didn't let her talk. Is that the original 1937 version?
according to Rachel Zegler, yes. But the ratings on that are quite good. I know, like on IMDb for the original, the critic rating is like a 96, and that's out of 100, which is
Wow.
like, I mean, even
That's rarefied air.
yeah. And then, spoiler alert: this movie, the aggregate critic rating was 50 on IMDb, which is on the low side.
Yeah.
But where it gets really bad is the user reviews. So
Really,
after-
because I thought that went up like on Rotten Tomatoes. I thought the critics were in the 40s and the audience was at 70 something.
I think it might be. I could be wrong. It might be flipped.
I thought it got a lot better from the regular audience than it did from the critics,
I-
which really blew my mind because usually the critics are just all in the tank for all this woke nonsense.
Yeah. Do you want to guess what the IMDb score is right now? The user score.
No,
I think you probably maybe have an idea.
'cause
It's rated 1 to 10 stars.
1 to 10.
Yeah.
1 to 10 stars. I'd say like a 3 or a 4.
Yeah, you're giving it too much credit.
No way.
And so the day after, when I went to see the movie, it was still so early on that there was no user reviews until the following day.
Okay.
When it officially was,
Yeah.
premiered. And when I first looked, I was like, wow, these ratings are low. It was like, I think it was like a 2.4 when I first checked.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, well,
It's going to get
controversy-
better over time.
Yeah, at least a little better. And
Getting worse?
And then the next day, it's like 2.3,
Holy
2.2.
shit.
And then a couple days ago, it broke the 2, and it was in the 1s. And as of this morning, it's at 1.7.
Holy cow.
And it's a lot of reviews. It's like, I think it's like around 125,000 right now. So it's not like it's just like 10,000.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
And you got to think about it because there's going to be some people who are big Disney fans.
Yeah.
And whether or not they like the movie, they're
Yeah,
going to leave a 10-star review.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know how many 1-star reviews you'd need to like
To shift
make up for that? Yeah, exactly. So that just really goes to show. And anybody leaving a 2-star review at this point is increasing the ratings, which is
that's nuts.
hard to think about.
That's
and
nuts.
So, I mean, I've seen a lot. I'm a pretty big movie guy. And like I haven't seen like I mean, it's rare to see anything below a 5.
Look, I sucked it up and took my youngest daughter to go see Barbie. She was 12 at the time, and I checked out after the BBW Barbie. Opened up with a is that the official? Is that what they call it? The BBW Barbie? The body positivity Barbie.
BBW Barbie.
That's what they call it on Pornhub, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a category.
It's a category. So when they open up with the BBW Barbie, giving me a lecture from a courtroom about the evils of capitalism, and it's done by Hollywood overpaid actresses and actors, produced by a fucking Mattel, a toy company that is purely there to sell you your kids toys and shit and make money.
Yep.
And you're going to sit there and open the movie up with a BBW Barbie preaching against the evils of capitalism to me. I'm out. I'm done. So I got 2 double drinks from the bar and settled in for an hour and a half of my life I wasn't going to get back. Yep. And after the movie, I looked at my daughter. I was like, so what'd you think of that? And she goes, that was dumb. And I was stunned that she could see it.
Yeah.
Right? But yet, Barbie did really, really well.
It did really well. It came out the same weekend as Oppenheimer.
Yeah, and so which is crazy.
Which to still garner that much attention with Oppenheimer, which one of the biggest movies of the year.
Yeah, so. And so I'm really surprised that this movie is not being better received by the general American public, who aren't as smart as my 12-year-old daughter.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised too, to be honest. And
so I really want to get into this movie because I want to break it down because there's something that liberals love to do and it drives me nuts and I can't figure it out, right? And it really, well, actually, to be honest with you, it's the same thing Islam likes to do. A lot of people don't realize this, but Islam prefers not to build a mosque. They prefer to go into a community and purchase a already having been built church and convert it to a mosque. And they specifically prefer to do that because it's a symbol of them conquering you. Okay?
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very important to them that the remnants of your former belief system stand now cloaked in Islam so that you have a permanent reminder that they conquered you.
Yeah.
Right? And I look at liberals and Democrats and it's like, you know, they hate the foundational principles of America. They hate the American Constitution. If you don't believe me, just go look at the interview with Ruth Bader Ginsburg in France, where she's asked about the Constitution. The woman was appointed by a president to the Supreme Court to enforce it, and she doesn't even believe in it. And she literally will tell it to you, just not in America. All right? So they can't just... They're not going to go create their own company. They're not going to go create their own church. They're not going to go create their own country. They're not going to create their own characters, right? They're going to take the characters that you know and love, and they're going to bastardize them.
Yeah.
Right? We can't have our own superhero. We have to take your superhero and turn it into some weird gay POC whatever version of what you grew up loving, right? Apparently, not only do they love to do it themselves, they love to do it to all your shit too, right? And so if you look at this Disney character, right? The original Disney, right? Snow White, she was the fairest of them all. You had this evil queen. It was based on beauty, aesthetics.
Yeah, it
right?
was. Yeah.
Now, what do they do to it? Right? So first off, they had to redefine fairness. And there's a song in the movie to answer why is she called Snow White? Because she ain't white. Right? Zegler, I don't know what she is.
Latina.
She's a Latina.
Yeah.
You know, I think she's, you know, borderline pretty pale Latina. I don't know if they should allow her to call herself Latina, but
yeah.
You know, she's definitely skating on a little bit of white privilege there.
A little bit. And I think people are just tired of, like, even though she is, I wouldn't care otherwise in most movies, but like when in the original movie, they're talking about the snow being as white as, or the skin being as white as snow. Like, yeah, if that wasn't like a premise of the original movie, then who the hell cares?
Yeah. Again, it's like this whole movie should have been a completely different Disney story.
Yeah.
If you want to make a Disney story, and you just why not just make a new one? Why retool the Snow White Disney princess story, right? And if you think there's something wrong with there being a movie that equates her skin to white as snow, bullshit, because we don't have a problem with actresses from the deep heart of Africa. They're stunningly beautiful. Their skin is as darker than anything you've ever seen. Yeah. They are fucking supermodels. They are so exotic and so beautiful looking, right?
Yep.
There is nothing wrong. You talk about like the caramel, like models who are caramel color. It's like every color of skin is beautiful. Every one of them. And you don't get to tell me yours is and mine's not. And you don't get to make things that herald yours, right? And then tell me I can't make things that herald mine, right? Yeah. So, like, Wakanda Forever, the Black Panther. I mean, it's like, that's wonderful. That movie, that I actually like, even though I think it's hilarious that, we could get into that another time. But I do think what's great about that is you actually have your own character. His origins are from Africa. He's African. It's the culture and the tribe. And I don't know how accurate to the culture any of that stuff is because it's made by Hollywood or whatever. Yeah. But there was at least some attempt to create this new character instead of taking somebody like Captain America, slapping some wings on him, and it's like they did to him what they did to Jared from State Farm. It's like why not just make your own fucking character?
Yeah, I thought Black Panther was pretty awesome, and like you said, how accurate it is with all the global culture. Who knows? It's a movie.
I don't know. It's a movie, right?
So like, there's never going to be 100% accurate. But,
so here they had to remake this because they couldn't do fairness because they didn't want to cast another white princess. Okay. So there's a song in this movie where it sings about how she was named Snow White because she was born during a blizzard. I don't even have that big of a problem with that one. But really the fairness thing is because it's about social equity and justice. All right. And I love how wrong and how ignorant Democrats and liberals are and how wrong they are on this concept, right? So early in the film, her parents are depicted as ruling over a kingdom where resources are shared equally among the people, evoking imagery of a utopian socialist society. Yep. Now, this contrasts with the evil queen's reign characterized by heavy taxation and exploitation.
Yep.
How the fuck do you get the utopian equal society where everything is shared if it wasn't for somebody with a gun holding it to your head, stealing the shit you've produced and giving it away?
Yeah.
That's what I love about Hollywood. They split the two things apart. This is the interesting thing about capitalism. Capitalism is the only system where no one's holding a gun to your head. It's the free exchange between you and me of goods and services. That's capitalism. It's all capitalism is. Yeah. Socialism, communism, all the other isms, in order to equally distribute, require what, right? Because it requires the heavy taxation. It requires the exploitation. If you want to take from me, like the only way for you to give him free health care is to take money from me or enslave me as a doctor and force me to provide it.
Yeah.
If I choose not to let you take my money or not to perform my labor for free, then what do? You fine me. If I don't pay the fine, what do? You show up with a gun and take me to jail. If I don't allow you to take me to jail, you kill me. That is socialism. That is communism. And only in Hollywood can they actually try and make those two things opposing forces, all while claiming the evil queen is capitalism. No, that's literally fucking socialism and communism is the heavy taxation and exploitation. Now, you get away with it in real society because people are so fucking stupid. They believe you when you lie to them and tell them that it's not you we're going to exploit. It's not you we're going to tax. It's just the billionaires. It's just the millionaires. It's just people making over $400,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right? Now, they also have Jonathan and the Bandits. The traditional prince is replaced by Jonathan, a thief leading a group of bandits who steal from the rich. Now, what do you think every fucking dumbass watching this connects that to? Robin Hood.
Oh, exactly.
And this is one of the greatest, most misunderstood stories. Who does Robin Hood steal from?
It's supposed to be the rich.
No, he doesn't.
According to
modern beliefs, everybody believes he's stealing from the rich. He never steals from the rich. Not one time does Robin Hood steal from the rich. Who does he steal from in reality? In the actual story, who does Robin Hood steal from?
Guess normal people.
No, the sheriff of fucking Nottingham, the government that's taxing you and exploiting you.
Well, then that's
Robin Hood steals from and gives you your money back. Does that ring a bell to anybody? Anybody familiar with Doge, Elon Musk, Donald Trump? They're the motherfuckers stealing from the government, stealing from the sheriff of Nottingham, and trying to give you your fucking money back.
Yeah. Well,
that's who Robin Hood stole from.
That makes the guy from the Snow White exactly Robin Hood, because that's exactly who he's really stealing from, because there's really no rich people under the evil queen's reign. It's really just the queen and her palace that has pretty much all the central money, and everybody is poor.
Yeah. So in this movie, right, you also have Snow White being the product of the last 30 years of brainwashing in America, right? She can't be a woman who values being in a relationship with an honorable man and having a family. She has to be the woman that thinks being in a fucking cubicle working for a Fortune 500 company is the ultimate fruition of her life's work, right? So they shift her goals from finding true love to restoring her father's equitable rule, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she teams up essentially with the bandits that try to take down the queen. And of course, it's Disney. Of course, it works out at the end. And her and Jonathan, not to spoil stuff, but they live happily ever after type of thing.
Yeah. And then in true Democrat liberal fashion, right, where we took the Cleveland Indians and we renamed them the Guardians, right? We took the Native American off of the fucking butter. We took Aunt Jemima off of the maple syrup, right? Heaven help us if we allow a team to have the name Cleveland Indians, which ignorant fucks don't know, goes back to the fact they're the very first Native American on their baseball team in the entire Major League Baseball. Yep. And it wasn't until they had 3 players who were Native American they changed their name to the Cleveland Indians, right? The logo for in the NFL was wildly pro Native American. There was a team out of LaRue, Ohio called they had the very first Native American Olympic athlete. I always blank on his name as their quarterback. The entire team was Native American. You had the Washington Commanders now. What were they called? The Redskins. Yeah. Their logo and name came from like the head of the freaking nations of Indians. And white liberal intelligentsia can't handle that shit. And they have to whitewash these teams and eliminate all these references and these acknowledgments of the Native Americans' contributions to Major League Baseball, to the NFL, right? And they do it here in this movie. How many roles in movies are there for, and I don't know what the proper term is, little people, dwarfs, midgets?
Not many.
Not many. Do you think they'd like to get paid to be in film?
Yeah.
Do you think they'd like to make some fucking money?
Yeah, because I think...
Nope. We can't have that, can we?
Yeah, I think that was some that definitely had some controversy and even conversation from I think they call it the little people community.
Yeah.
I think, Peter Dinklage or whatever from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was actually one who spoke out against it.
Yeah. Against it. Yeah, it's easy to do when you're making fucking millions.
Well,
didn't he play a fucking midget in Lord of the Rings or Thrones or Game of Rings?
I think he spoke out against it, thinking that's like,
hey, go find 7 of them that aren't millionaires. Go find 7 of them that aren't millionaires from their comedy and their TV show, and let me know if they agree with him.
Yeah, well, exactly. There's a lot of other people from the little people community that were very much kind of upset at Peter Dinklage and also upset at Disney.
Yeah, they all should be,
because they're like, they're looking for.
Hey, wouldn't it be? Yeah, But no, you would rather put them on fucking welfare.
Yeah.
Than give them a job.
That's similar to like having like there's movies where like a character, for example, like has to be fat or has to be anorexic, and it's just like that's just part of the role, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to
what's wrong with it?
Have stereotypical roles of fat people or skinny people or people of color, this or that. I mean, it's just that. And if you don't want to have dwarfs in the movie, don't do Snow White because it's literally Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Exactly. You don't want a white girl. You don't want dwarfs, right? You don't want a prince. You don't want true love. Why the fuck are you making Snow White?
Yeah, why are you making a princess, like a Disney princess movie?
Yeah.
That literally is based around seven dwarfs, and they're literally some of the main characters in the movie.
Why don't you take your merry band of half head shaven, other half blue with your fucking bull ring nose rings where you all identify as one of the fucking 72 weird ass sex shits and make your fucking weird ass feminazi fucking fat girl hate patriarchy, hate capitalism fucking films. Just make, right?
That'd be one hell of a movie.
Yeah, and you'd have the same number of people go watch it.
You're onto something.
Disney spent $250 million making this film, and they opened up to under $50 million.
I think it was like somewhere around 45
in America. In America,
domestically.
Yeah, it was like 70 million globally.
Which is, sounds like a lot in total numbers, but yeah, not what they're hoping for.
Dude, they spent $250 million, and I don't even know if that number involves all the marketing and shit.
Oh, I don't think it does.
I think they got to hit a number way over $250 million to break even.
I could be wrong, but I read something for them to break even. Again, this is, trying to remember, but it's like $600 or $700 million.
Yeah, good fucking.
And that might be off, but it's definitely more than 250. I think 250 was to create the movie.
I'm going to see something here. How much? Oh my goodness. So the reported production budget for Snow White ranges between 240 and 270 million, with some estimates suggesting it could be as high as 350 million. When factoring in delays, reshoots, and other production challenges. Market and distribution costs typically add another 50 to 100% of the production budget, depending on the scale of the global campaign. For a film this size, that's $100 million to $150 million. Whoo! So this could be as high as $500 million. Oh my goodness. Actually, they're saying it could be as high as $1.25 billion. And just like everything else, I guarantee you not a one of them. Okay, they're saying $810 million is a reasonable midpoint based on the most cited budget range. $810 million. And not a single one of these jackasses is going to get fired. And the actress like Zegler is going to go on and cry to everybody, taking no accountability for all the horrendous comments she made leading up to this film's release about Trump and his supporters. I mean, like, no offense, half of America. And then you wonder why your film's a total train wreck disaster. Kiss that $810 million goodbye.